Good day. Starting from today, we're going to learn MATLAB programming. Since we don't have the MATLAB compiler, I have the compiler here. I cannot run it because the license already expired. So we are going to use the Octave compiler. When you downloaded the compiler, basically you have two versions of Octave. One is the GUI version. The other one is the CLI version. In this case, we are going to use the GUI version, the one with graphical user interface. This one comes with all the bells and whistles. You're going to use this one only if you're expert in MATLAB, because this is going to be basically, there is no icons, just purely line programming. For example, here to clear the screen, CLC, clear screen. I want to type a simple matrix. Two by two matrix. Let's say inverse INV A. You get the inverse of A. Of course, inverse A times A, you get I, which is the identity matrix. So B, the inverse of A times A, you get I. So in this case, it's purely line programming. There is no, basically you keep your mouse aside. The mouse is useless. I want to exit this. Clear is basically, CLC is clear screen. Exit, or you can hit this cross, basically quit the compiler. We're going to use the GUI Octave version. Double click. So you have this desktop. Basically, this window, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 windows. This window basically lists all the files in the current folder or current directory. This is workspace. The workspace basically lists all variables currently in memory. The command history window basically archives all the commands that you type in the command window. So basically the active window is going to be the command window. To clear this, I just type CLC, clear screen. You can adjust the size here. You can drag this to left, for example. You can clear any of these windows. This one, and so on, the three windows. If you go to edit, here, you can clear the command window, command history, or workspace. Let's say I want to clear the command history. It's gone, nothing there. You can use the, of course, to change the appearance, the font size and font type. Edit, preferences. Take some time. This window appears. So you can change in the command window the font type and the font size. The same with the editor window. Later on we'll see the editor window. You can change for the editor window the font type and the font size as well. So see the command window. I want to increase the font size. Let's say 14. Make it bigger. Okay. Because before I accidentally opened two Octave windows. It should be only one. So in the command window, basically you can just use this as a calculator. For example, if you type 1 plus 2, for that, make sure the cursor is blinking, it's active. 1 plus 2 gives you ANS. Because by default, when you do not assign the results to any variable, the default variable is going to be ANS for answer. Of course, I can assign the results to, let's say, variable X. 2 times 3, I get 6. Two times 8, you can use the arrow key to go to the previous command. What's the use of semicolon here? If you put semicolon there, it will suppress the output. You don't have the output. To display the output, you just type the variable name, X. Square root, let's say 16. Sine of an angle, 0. By the way, in MATLAB, of course we are running the Octave compiler. In MATLAB, pi has a value, pi, 3.1416. So in other words, don't use pi as your own variable. Don't use pi as a variable name. Pi is reserved for pi, 3.1416. I can clear the screen, of course, CLC, clear the screen. But in memory, we still have all these variables, ANS and the last one, X. If I type X, has a value of 16. If you type clear, clear means clear memory. You will see that all this will disappear. It's clear. CLC is clear screen. Clear is clear memory. So we can use the command window interactively, just like a simple calculator. So in MATLAB, all variables are matrices. For example, I type x equal 100. See, x will not disappear on the screen because I put the semicolon at the end. It will suppress the output. So in this case, X is a matrix 1 by 1. 1 row, 1 column. Let's say I have a matrix A. The details will come in later for how to create row vectors, column vectors, and matrices. In chapter 1. Let's say, just very quickly, let's create a 2 by 2 matrix. This is basically first row slash more or less similar to slash n. Go to new line. Let's say 4, 8. There's no semicolon there. If semicolon there, you don't have the display. Let's say we have 2 by 2 matrix A. There are many built-in functions in MATLAB. For example, I can transpose, let's say B is the transpose of A. Transpose is basically columns become rows, or rows become columns. Of course, we can even calculate the inverse of A. Now, in C, if you want to calculate, for example, inverse of A, it's a long, you have to write the whole program. It's not as simple as MATLAB. For MATLAB, this program is already there. The function is already there. You just call the function. So this is basically using the Octave compiler interactively. Below here, we have 3 tabs. Command window. This is command window. Documentation is basically the user manual for Octave. Editor is basically, it opens up the editor window. Here you can type a script file, save it, and then you can run the file, just like C programming. Let's say I want to create a simple program. So, editor, you can file new or control N. Make sure you left click your cursor here, control N, or file new, or you just hit this icon. So file, it's a new script file. Now the cursor is blinking, it's active. Let's say we read radius of a circle, R. So input in MATLAB is just like scanf. So this is just a simple string. Enter radius. So basically this will appear on the screen. And then we calculate the area of the circle. Keep it in variable area. So area is just pi, remember? Pi is already in MATLAB. Of course, in this case, Octave compiler. Pi times R squared. You can use the hat squared or R times R. Display. Display is just like printf. You can use printf as well. And then we display the content of area. Content of variable area. So we have a script file, a script program to calculate area of a circle. You can hit this icon, save file and run. Since this is a new file, it's a new file. So this window will appear. It will ask you where to keep the file. And the name of the file. So let's say I'm going to keep it at the desktop. So desktop. File name CRC for circle. Circle, okay. Circle.m. The extension is always .m. Don't change this. The same for Octave or MATLAB compiler. The file extension has to be .m. So I will have circle.m at the desktop. Save. Because now the current directory is not desktop, this message appears. So I'll change directory, and you will see that this is changed to desktop. Change directory. Now you have the desktop, the current directory, where this file is located, circle.m. Now, you have to click the command window. Now the program was running, but the I/O input output is going to occur in the command window. So enter radius. For example, r is 100. So I have the area pi r squared. To go back to the program, you can click editor. So for this program, it's already running. So the output is going to be the input and output. You have to click the command window, enter the radius, so you get the area. This is the output from the program. In the command window, since the current directory has the file here, circle.m, to run the program again, you don't have to go to the editor. You just type the file name without the extension. So I'll type circle, make sure the cursor is here, left click, it's blinking. So circle. So it's going to find the current directory, circle.m. Circle, it's running, see? You can use the arrow key to go to the previous command. I'm running the program again. Let's clear the screen. There you have it. Of course, the next time you go to this directory, you need to, for example, a different file. Just double click the file and it will appear in the editor window. So you can modify the file. For example, here, double click, opens up this file in the editor window. Let's say I want to modify this to area of circle. Remember, we have not yet compiled this program. So, compile, save file and run. So for the latest file, we made this change. Go to the command window, enter radius 3. See, this will take effect. If I don't compile and run, save and run, it will run the old exe file. So you're going to get, you're not going to have this string of circle. Clear is clear memory. It's gone. Of course, to clear command history, you just edit clear command history. It's gone. CLC is clear screen. For trigonometric functions, we'll see later on. For example, sine pi on 2. You get 1. Of course, if it's degree, you put D there. Sine 90 degrees. Inverse. Arc sine of 1 will return the angle in radians. That's pi on 2 radians. Unless I put there D, then it will return the angle in degrees. So this is just a quick introduction to the Octave compiler. In chapter 1, in the next lecture, we go to the actual MATLAB programming. But we are running the program, of course, using the Octave compiler. Thank you.